Hopping out of the saddle in contact. So a high sign up to turn number 1.
Left through, Bradley Smith's going to be running fourth.
Now it is time to race the Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta.
King of the Baggers, the latest trend in motorsports, and it's on fire. If you've never heard of it, chances are you are going to sooner or later, as it's the fastest growing series in MotoAmerica, and officially going global with MotoGP starting next year. These aren't your typical race bikes. They're touring motorcycles transformed into high performance racing. For you car guys, you can imagine it as NASCAR V8s versus Formula 1 cars. That's what baggers are to superbikes. Only in this case, these baggers, which, mind you, weigh twice as much as the world's fastest superbikes, are only seconds off the world record lap times being set by those same exact superbikes. It's insane. It's absolutely insane, and it shouldn't work. On top of that, King of the Baggers objectively brings one of the biggest rivalries in motorcycles front and center. Harley-Davidson versus Indian motorcycles. Two of the world's oldest motorcycle brands in history, squaring up on the racetrack. If you're new to this scene, don't worry, you're not alone. I myself had some questions too, and I wanted to learn more. So, a couple weeks ago, I went down to Road Atlanta with Russ Fullen, our R&D calibrations manager, who also just so happened to be the official tuner for Kyle Wyman back in the 2021 season. With some help from our friends at the factory race team, we were able to get an exclusive VIP look behind the scenes at Road Atlanta to find out exactly what makes this series so insane. Why does everybody here know you?
Well, when the King of the Baggers series started and Harley-Davidson decided to become involved, I was asked to do the tuning on the team. So I've been at all the racetracks over the years and been involved in it since its inception in one way or another.
That's like, how are you doing? It's doing good. Always like to get it. Me too. Why didn't you ride down here?
Oh no, we flew down from Montana.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're in Montana now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We come in yesterday, and I think they took us all around the country to get here.
Yeah.
Get around the weather. Yeah.
I saw that you were coming here, so.
Oh yeah, this is kind of memory lane, you know.
Maybe not all good memories though. I don't know. Fun memories at least.
They're a lot more fun now than they might have been at the time because we were under a lot of pressure. We had 425-degree temperatures on the engine at Atlanta in 21. I mean, it was melting.
That's crazy.
And we only lost by what, 3 or 4 tenths with that kind of overheating.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's start off with some basics. King of the Baggers, KOTB for short, takes the big V-twin touring motorcycles you normally spot cruising the interstate, complete with the windshields and the hard saddlebags, and throws them into a professional road race circuit. The idea actually began as a one-off experiment at Laguna Seca back in October of 2020.
Well, it was going to start in 2020, but COVID interrupted, so they only had one race, and Harley-Davidson threw their support behind the Vance and Hines team that year.
The race was so entertaining that it reignited the century-old Harley versus Indian rivalry, and overnight proved that there was an appetite for heavyweight V-twin racing.
It seemed like it was going to catch on, so Harley-Davidson corporate decided to become involved in January of 21. So we did our first test at Laguna Seca in I think March. Then we done some testing at Indy out near Tucson, Arizona. Then we came to the very first full season which was only 3 races. It was Road Atlanta, Road America, Laguna Seca, and that's where the championship was decided, and Kyle Wyman won with a broke arm.
Well, getting discharged from hospital in Sheboygan. I've broken my radius from the elbow, snapped the head off the back side of it, so my elbow's displaced, broken from that little low side of the Superbike race. So
Kyle broke his arm about an hour later in the Superbike race. We were practicing at Blackhawk, and he had this broke arm, you know, left arm, I think it was, yeah, clutch hand, elbow. And Travis made a really hot lap down there that was hotter than he had made in the previous practice down there. And Kyle's like, "Give me my leathers." I said, "How do you feel about going to Laguna Seca?" He said, "I'm in a good place in the points. All I've got to do is finish 6th. I can do that with 2 broke arms, Russ." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I like this guy. Bjorn's working on contingencies over there now for the chassis. All the track data from the last couple sessions, and he has been Kyle's crew chief since day 1. We're going to go over every piece of the bike to make sure everything's good and race ready. Everything's going to be safety wired. Everything's going to be rechecked. Brakes have got to be rechecked. Cooling system has got to be rechecked. Any issues, it'll have to be bled. So they will be working on these bikes until 15 minutes before grid time. They're making sure that every little detail is taken care of. Nothing gets overlooked. Yeah, rock starring today.
Rockstar now, even on the old camera. We all know worth it.
This is Dave Hopkinson. He is Kyle Wyman's crew chief. Are we going to make this happen? After the Q2 and the challenge race, they go over every piece of these bikes. Dave's making sure that Kyle's going to have everything he needs for the next race, the points paying race.
To understand how King of the Baggers really works, you need to know the 2 giants squaring off at every round. You have the Harley-Davidson Dynojet Factory Race Team. They field a trio of road glides, the spearhead of which is number 33 Kyle Wyman, the 2021 champion and the winningest rider in the series history with, so far, 18 career victories. Beside him is number 38 Bradley Smith, a former MotoGP star whose GP-honed racecraft adds serious polish to Milwaukee's efforts, and number 43 James Rispoli, the flat track turned road race specialist who doubles as the team's official test rider and relief ace. Whenever the orange and black bikes roll out on the track, they're the benchmark everyone else watches. On the other side of the pit lane stands Indian Motorcycles S&S-backed wrecking crew. Their weapon of choice is their liquid-cooled Indian Challenger, lighter revving and brutally effective on corner entry. At the tip of that spear is number 1 Troy Herfox. Fresh off clinching last year's title, he's flanked by 2-time champ number 29 Tyler O'Hara, the original bagger specialist, and a newcomer, MotoGP World Superbike veteran number 76 Loris Baz. Indian's trio is determined to keep the number 1 plate in Spirit Lake and spoil Harley's home track parties every chance they get. So, that's the matchup, Wyman versus Herfox.
So yeah, it's a very, very interesting series. The Indian Harley-Davidson rivalry is bringing a lot of people to racetracks that otherwise would never go to racetracks. So if you look at most of the times out here now, the parity is pretty good. It's really pretty good between the 2 brands, and even the privateers, the top-level privateers, are perfectly capable of competing. I think MotoAmerica has done a really good job at that. So it's good for MotoAmerica, it's good for Harley-Davidson, and it's good for us at Dynojet as well.
I mean, it's all down to the team, right? They're the ones putting in all the effort to develop parts, build it, break it, build it better, break it again. That's the whole development process, and they've done an incredible job. This is our 5th season now, which is crazy. My first race on the baggers was here. Russ was here with us that first year, and we're still continuously making steps, and like big steps. Our launch control is not quite as sophisticated as the superbikes. The superbikes use, an IMU sensor to, use kind of a wheelie control and feed the power in. There's a lot more inputs. Ours is simply just a throttle limit in first gear. So we just have 50% throttle. So I get it 100, but it only opens the blade 50% in first. And then once I go to second, it's full throttle. But if I went 1-to-1 on the hand to the blade, the thing would just flip me off. It has so much torque, it would be impossible to ride. Having that crispness in the bottom when you first pick up the throttle is everything with that, and we lean on our partners at Dynojet to help find us what we need.
Oh yeah, I've kind of pushed on a relationship between Harley-Davidson and Dynojet for many years now.
Why?
I think the synergy between the two companies is absolutely incredible. There's nothing negative for either company here. So I was really glad when Jeff and Jackson were able to put that together, something that I've been pushing on for so many years. And so far, I think it's been a very productive relationship.
It takes a village, and it takes a village of, not just Harley-Davidson and Harley-Davidson employees, but our partners. Right? So Dynojet came on as a title sponsor, and they've been a huge partner to Harley-Davidson for a long time, but now a partner in racing. Rockford Fosgate, Mission Foods, like all these companies that, support our team is really, that's a big part of what allows us to come do what we do. It's, we have a lot of resources as a Harley-Davidson factory effort, but we truly could not do it without those partners.
I think it's a perfect marriage. We make the best power sports dynos in the world. Most Harley-Davidson dealerships that have dynos have Dynojet dynos. The best diagnostic tool you're ever going to have in your motorcycle shop is a Dynojet dyno. You're taking away a lot of the liability of sending your guys out on test rides. Okay, it's cold, it's raining, the bike needs to be test ridden, put it on the dyno. You can simulate everything, and you can see a lot more, and you can monitor everything there. We have a lot of diagnostic tools. We offer training in Montana if the dealers need that. Again, that's just scratching the surface of what I see as the synergy between the two companies.
Second, separating himself from Kyle Wyman. Take a look at the results. Troy Herfoss on the podium there. Hayden Gill, that was a good solid race for him as well, down at fourth.
Troy's bike's not running right?
No.
Why do you say that?
I hear it.
What are you hearing when you say that?
Misfires.
Misfires?
All right, so 8 laps scheduled for this one. Revs are up, and we're getting ready to get after it here at Mission King of the Baggers. And oh no, Kyle Wyman off the line. Didn't look like he had the thing in gear.
Have it in gear, Greg. I watched his foot. As everybody took off, I watched Kyle Wyman put his bike into gear. Man, that's such a bummer.
Oh no! Up and out of the saddle in contact. So a high side up to turn number 1. Rocco Landers gets collected in that.
Man, Kyle's going to get lucky here because we've got bikes laying in the middle of the track in turn number 1. It's going to be hard to pick those bikes up too on the side of a hill. So we'll see what happens. That actually helped Kyle quite a bit. Yeah, we're gonna have a red flag here.
These riders are gonna work their way slowly back towards pit lane, pit in, and so we're gonna have to get the whole incident 7 laps now, and away we go. Kyle Wyman put it in gear, and he gets away, and he might be the one leading us into turn number 1. The 33 Harley-Davidson got a good launch, and he's going to bend it into turn 1, and he's good. Now this is where the... Oh, sorry, Hannah. It looks like the number 1 plate. Troy Herfoss has got smoke billowing out of his motorcycle. He's
You told it. Remember I told you this morning?
Yeah.
That I could hear something in that engine?
Yeah.
That was it.
One thing that the King of the Baggers has done in my mind is increase the interest in performance baggers, which I think is just great for the industry right now. You know, it sells product. It makes people happy. That's what baggers do. You can double the horsepower on some of these bikes now and still have a fairly reliable cross-country bike. It's not going to be stock reliability when you double the horsepower on it. But say you go up 30%, you can still have a perfectly reliable touring bike. I think it's going to continue to grow because, as I said, there are people coming to racetracks that would never have otherwise come. There is a lot of interest in KOB top racing in Europe. They tested in Spain a few months ago, and it looks like that some things are going to come to fruition over there. And I hope to see it. I would love to see KOB as part of the MotoGP circuit as well.
That's the end of this video. Make sure to check out King of the Baggers. The official schedule is on MotoAmerica.com. Yeah, we'll see you on the paddocks. Until then, stay tuned.